Hello and welcome to the Wheel of Crime podcast, the podcast where two ladies play games, shout profanities, and laugh way too often. Also, this podcast does cover topics of sensitive nature, and as such, listener discretion is advised.
Hello, and welcome back to the first December 2025 episode of the Wheel of Crime podcast. My name is Jenn.
My name is Emily. And for a hot second there, I thought you were saying, and welcome to our first episode. And I was like, is there something you haven't told me? Scrubbed our entire list. Oops.
I think we have like 500 episodes now, so that would be crazy.
I have literally no idea about anything ever, so if we do have 500 episodes, that's fucking wild. I mean,
we have a lot of episodes.
Since, like, what, 2018? 2019? I feel like 2019.
Yeah. No, it was
January 17th,
October or November 2018.
Yes, that sounds more right.
Yeah. So, we've been going at this for a while.
Teehee. We have so much fun here, that's why. And
yeah. We just entertain ourselves, really.
Pretty much. Just we figured to put a microphone in front of our mouths and the rest was history, I guess.
Pretty much. So much confidence.
The most confidence. I was going to say something, and now I've decided not to, because I feel like I've seen all over social media recently a bunch of things where it's like, these people suck, well, who gave them microphones? I don't know, my brain has gone on a tangent and it's left me behind, but what have you been up to this week to share on the show? The whole 7 days has passed, and what has happened in those 7 days?
I feel like time is a construct right now. It's like I'm in a nebulous zone of like...
Oh god, Jen's been without a job for so long, she's turning into a philosopher.
I know. It's so funny because I had last winter off too, and I was thinking back and I was like, what the fuck did I do with all my time? Mm-hmm. And I don't even know. I'm like, I'm like just here floating, vibing. Mm-hmm. I'm like, wow, am I missing work? Or...
It's definitely the time really pisses itself away, I feel, when you're not like busy, like having stuff in your schedule. Yeah. So it is different.
It's like we have lots of stuff that we're doing and I feel like we're filling our days, but like also the days are so short right now that I'm like, I feel like I wake up and the day is over, you know?
Yeah, for real. The last time I had a sleep in, which feels so long ago, I remember waking up and then I was like, oh, this is so nice. I'll have like a coffee, breakfast. I got distracted doing a couple different things. Suddenly I go into the living room. Sun's going down. It's sunset now. And I was like, okay, never mind.
I know. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It's fine. Whatever. Anyways, what's going on with you? I feel like you have the more exciting life right now.
Oh, geez. Obviously work, because when have I ever not had that in our whole time of doing the podcast? But most recently is we've been having a door installed in our house, and it's right directly in one of the middle of our living spaces. You can tell how much sleep I've been getting through all this, and it's been a journey. The doorway has turned into a hallway, which has turned into a staircase, which has turned into Barbie's dream house, which is turned into an elevator, which is then turning into an escalator, which is actually just turning into a mine shaft. And it's taking me straight down to hell. So
I love that for you. I think you should really, utilize the space. I suggested Emily make it like a cute little fairy room, but she didn't go for that.
No, like, I'm hoping that maybe we'll just make it into like the whole inside of the wall is actually just its own room, and that's where I live.
Yeah, I love that for you. I think that's what you should do.
I can have a window that is 1 foot wide and like 7 feet tall, and that's all I really need. I would just sleep standing up. It'd be so good.
Yes, you and the squirrel.
Actually, though, so that's one thing. Because I've talked on the show before about me and the squirrel that I have ultra deluxe beef with for the last 2 years. Literally, they took down the wall on one side, And because basically the space between the one wall and the other wall that they're putting the doorway in is like 4 feet-ish. So they took down the one side, and literally the guy was like the carpenter was talking to us, and he was like, dude, we took down that wall, so many pine cones. He's like, half the wall was, that's not insulation, that's just pine cones.
Aw, the squirrel was insulating for you guys.
And for real. He was paying rent, kind of, I guess.
In his own way.
Where his corpse
I was expecting
may
you
or
to
may
be
not
like, bodies. There were so many bodies.
With my fucking luck, it would be, actually, we just open up the wall, and it was crazy. One giant maggot. It ate all the other ones.
That would be wild, dude.
Fucking huge. No, thankfully, just apparently 1 bajillion pine cones. The guy was like, yeah, it filled up our whole vacuum. And then they had to, like, dump a pile of pine cones off the edge of the cliff that I live by and then vacuum up more pine cones.
That's wild.
So that
returning them to nature.
Literally,
the
he's
squirrel
like,
will start anew.
He's like, we're doing our part. And I was like, at least somebody is, because couldn't be me. Could not be me.
No.
And then besides that, as far as like hobbies go, I am really seriously contemplating DNFing the One Monster Fucker book. I've had a couple friends of mine who've read it who keep telling me to pull through because the ending's cute. But it's like every time I open up the book and I just see like the first few lines of the chapter, which is, I honest to God think the line is something like, and there I was, sitting at one end of the table, the Demon King and his wife, who is the ex-girlfriend of my monster lover, staring at me. And I'm like,
Oof.
I don't want to be
See,
here.
I need you to read Iron Flame so that we can both move on to Onyx Storm.
Yes.
I've been waiting. I was like, okay, I finished this one without her.
Yeah.
But I will not finish Onyx Storm without her.
And, like, the shitty part is, like, I know if I just sat there for 2 hours, I could probably just slam it out and call it a day. But it's almost like just the getting into it now is the hard part. I feel like I shouldn't have ended when it was getting slow in the book. I should have, like, ended when it was still, like, interesting.
Yeah.
But
I feel like you either need to DNF it or just, like, be like, I must finish this and force yourself to do it one night.
I know. So instead of that, I've been playing that Pokemon ZA game that I was talking about before. And that was just okay. I beat it, I guess, last night, and I was like, oh, this is the ending? Alright, sick. I can't believe that happened. It actually happened so fast. I didn't even expect it. Wow. Look at me.
Yeah, I've also been getting back into Animal Crossing, weirdly enough, because of the new update that is coming out, I think, in January. It kind of inspired me to get back into it slowly. So, like, I've been playing, like, for, like, 30 minutes every few days.
That's cute. I'm resisting the voices in my head that are saying, restart your island. Do it.
I want to so bad.
Start over. Do it. Just because there's something nice about a fresh start. But then I know, like, I looked how many hours I put into Animal Crossing, and I've only ever had one island. And it's a fucking ridiculous amount of hours. I'm like, do I really want to do that?
See, I'm pretty sure in the new update, it's giving you the opportunity to build, like, 3 more islands or something.
I hope so. Because if I could just make a new island and not lose the amount of hours I put into the island I already have, that'd be fucking sick.
That's my thing. That's why I've been holding off the urge to restart, because I also have those worms in my brain knocking around.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure in the new update, it's letting you build another island or maybe a couple. I can't remember. But I'm like, okay, I just have to get through to then, and then I can start anew and not lose the OG.
They really are. They're like, just think, a new island. You could do new layouts, all those plans. Think of the things you've seen online. You could do them. New villagers. You could get new villagers. Like, literally, I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this.
See, I'm too attached to my island. Like, I'm like, oh, that's a sentimental time capsule of 2020. I can't abolish it.
the sentiment of trauma, the aroma of it really is
Literally.
something else, huh?
I was like, man, I was going through such a hard time when I made this. Like,
I know. I do also have like, I really think the only reason I was even clocking into work during the pandemic was because I was like, I need real people money so I can go on eBay and pay some kid to bring bells to my island. This is the reason why I need to work.
exactly.
And not feel bad about it.
Literally, I remember on my, like, because I was working from home, and on my lunch breaks, I was like, time to go to my island.
Yeah. Clocking into my other job. I know, I tried explaining my my Animal Crossing phase to my husband, and he was like, why do you keep picking up games where they're just another job? And I'm like, it's not another job.
It's
They're
my
cute.
passion.
And I'm putting fossils in a museum. Don't take
I
that
know.
from me.
I've made it my new mission to complete my museum. I have 7 bugs, 6 fish, and 6 sea creatures that are like the last that I need to collect.
I only have 2 sea creatures left. And then I said fuck it to the paintings. That entire section. I don't care.
I don't even know how many paintings I have left, but I know I have a lot because that's the hardest one to collect all.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know. But that's my life recently is fucking around, and that's pretty much it. Just fucking around.
Just fucking around.
God.
All right, well, we should get into our episode then.
Definitely. All right. Let's spin that wheel. If you could date one cult classic monster, who would you pick and why? When I say cult classic, I mean like literally like when people say cult classic horror movies,
like OGs.
Yeah, like Bigfoot, the Swamp Man, like whatever, right? Actually, on that note, I should probably look them up. It's been a while since
I feel like I'd go Frankenstein. I feel like he gives me like, you know, loving vibes, and I feel like he would really take care of me.
I think he would too. I, however, don't think he's very smart, but that is possibly a good thing because I don't think he would spend a lot of time talking back.
Exactly. It would be like, go do my boy.
Right. Okay. What's considered classic monsters according to the AI Google search is, Frankenstein, Dracula, the Mummy, the Wolf Man, Creature from the Black Lagoon, the Invisible Man, Godzilla, and that's pretty much it. You can tell though that the AI searches are like really funny because I asked for like a list of cult classic monster list, and one of the options it gave me was the Werewolf of London, like that song.
Yeah,
that's funny. Or the alien from Alien versus Predator is another one.
I feel like Dracula would also fit into that list. I am better than AI. I know more than the computer.
I know more. And then, yeah, because, like, there's also Nosferatu, I guess, which is kind of like Dracula. I feel like it's really similar.
Yeah.
I don't know. See, there's a lot of these I just don't know that much about. Like, I don't really... Like, I have an idea about the Creature from the Black Lagoon, but that doesn't really speak to me. I feel like I would not like the Mummy. That is very dusty. No, thank you.
Yeah.
The age gap, though, I would be into. So...
Yes, you would. Ooh, you're 3,000 years older than me. Come here, daddy.
That's like how many leap years? I don't know. I don't know how to count that high. Is that more than like 100? Oh my god, that's so crazy.
See, I see you with Dracula because like he's got a fuck ass like cool historic castle, and that's I think true. That would be your vibe.
That would be my vibe. I know. I was like going through the list because like maybe Wolfman, probably Dracula. And I don't know. I want to like the Invisible Man, but I just don't know enough about the Invisible Man, including what
I don't
he
like
looks like.
him. Seems too shifty. I don't like that he can not
Have you
be
guys ever
seen.
watched
Like, I
that
want
movie?
him. I've never seen the original, but I've seen like the remake with Elizabeth Moss. And I know it's like nothing like the original. I'm not saying that, but like similar concept wise. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
The synopsis from IMDb that came up is a scientist finds a way of becoming invisible, but in doing so, he becomes murderously insane.
Yeah, the
Like a him
basic
problem.
plot of the Elizabeth Moss version that came out in 2020 was this woman, Elizabeth Moss, was dating this like tech multimillionaire, and he was abusive. She flees in the middle of the night, but he's created an invisible suit or whatever. So then he's using it to basically fuck with her and make her look like she's murdering the people around her, to like psychologically torture her and get her sent to like an insane asylum so that
we don't deal with psychopaths. No, thank you. On the other hand, though, Jekyll and Hyde did also come up the more I was scrolling. That could be hot. That has potential.
That's a 2-for-1.
That is 2-for-1 family special. Hello, let's go.
We love a sale.
Women, we love sales. It was literally 50% off.
It like Black Friday just passed, so clearly we need all the help we can get.
What did you get for Black Friday? Jekyll and Hyde.
A new boyfriend. Actually, 2.
Yeah, it was a great deal. Couldn't pass it up.
Exactly.
Jesus. Okay, that's really funny. All right, let's spin for our next question. What's the worst combination of animals that you can think of?
Combination?
Yeah, like if you had to take 2 or 3.
I'm sorry, but I hate the centaur. Like the horseman. That I don't fuck with that.
Honestly,
like
fair.
I actually hate that.
But what if you could create your own combo monster? Like literally, because a centaur is a human and a horse. What if you could take any 2 things or any 3 things and mix them together? Like, what would be the worst
Spider
combo
cat.
for you? Spider cat?
Spider cat. Because I love a cat, but the fact of seeing it like horrifically grafted with a spider, absolutely not. And like I feel like it would have better like agility to like jump at me and
True, a spider cat, like you think cats are already fast? Forget about it.
Like,
Forget about it.
I'm sending myself to jail if I see one of those.
Yeah, right? I know. I'm trying to think of so I already have in mind like the body of something that I would hate. I'm just trying to think about the face. I think I've got it. I think the worst combination of animal would be a cockroach, but the size and has the face of a chimpanzee.
Oh, that's horrific.
My soul would literally, like, I would die on, like, just, it would be, no.
And it could fly.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Could you imagine a flying, skittering little giant chimpanzee coming after you? Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely
not.
No. I would take actually anything else over that. Truly, literally anything else. Here, how about this? I'll take the spider cat. You can have the cockroach monkey.
No thanks, because I feel like you would actually kind of like the spider cat. Like, I feel like you might vibe with that a bit.
The spider cat. It would scare the shit out of me every day, but you know what? That's okay.
You'd be like, "Aw, cutie little patootie."
Because I have a black cat, I already mistake my cat to be blankets and towels and pillows like every day. So
yeah, exactly. No, I don't want your disgusting roach. Monkey
roach ape thing. Aw, but he could be cute. You don't know.
No, absolutely not. If I saw a roach anywhere near my residence or a place that I was going to potentially sleep, I would burn that place to the ground.
Wait. I have a fun idea. What's a combination of animal that you think I would hate? And I'll come up with a combination of animal that I think you would hate.
Okay.
Okay. I think that the worst combination of animal ever for you would be a dog crossed with a bed bug. Because it would crawl into bed with you and you'd think it was a dog and it was actually a bed bug, but a huge one.
Do not put that bad voodoo on me. I don't want anything to do with that.
Knock on wood! Knock on wood!
Oh, gross!
You're welcome! And I'm only saying this, sadly, because I did see a TikTok video today where a lady had ordered in Papa John's, and she opened up her Papa John's box, and it had a fucking bed bug in the Papa John's box from the guy's car. Because she ordered skip the dishes.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I would burn my house down.
She almost did. Like, in the whole video, you literally, like, I feel bad. You could tell she was palpitating, like, visibly having a panic attack because she was recording with her camera and it was like, but then when she, like, opens up the pizza box, she, like, zooms in and it is fully a bed bug in there. And I'm, like, looking and I'm like, this had better be AI. Can't find a single thing that says it is AI. And I'm like, I'm choosing to believe that's AI. No, thank
That's
you.
AI. That's fucking cursed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think your worst nightmare would be a maggot combined with a cockroach combined with a crying human baby.
Yeah, you got it. Absolutely. That's awful. Off the cliff I go with all of the pine cones. Sayonara.
Like, genuinely also my worst nightmare too.
For real, though. For real. Nobody put us in charge of making horror movies. They'll be just extra gross and scary.
I know, disgusting.
Yuck. All right, let's spin for our next question. Do you believe that any of the cult classic monsters we talked about would have a family?
Well, Frankenstein has a wife.
This is true.
So I'm assuming they have some sort of spawn.
Mm-hmm. Spawn.
And then, Creature from the Black Lagoon, he seems like an upstanding gentleman, so I could see him having a family or
like
potentially a life partner.
Probably also has kids, but not a wife. I feel like he did, and then they got divorced, but they have a lot of kids.
Or they had a one night stand or something. She got pregnant.
Yes,
Mm-hmm. And she's like, "You're toxic. I don't want to be with you."
Mm-hmm. Whereas I feel like the mummy always wanted a family, but just never did, and then suddenly
Eternal bachelor.
Yeah, and then he got a little bit too old, and he's like, you know what? I'm happy just the way I am. Why would I want to be anything else?
And then Dracula to me is giving also a bachelor. He, constantly trying to find a lady, but never landing.
Yeah. Definitely trying to get laid, 24/7, but nothing long term.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe 6 months at most, but then they break up.
Right. And then I'm trying to see my list here of who else. I actually feel like Godzilla would have a family too. A loving wife and at least 2 or 3 kids.
Yeah, and he had twins or something, so that was more than they wanted, but they're making it work.
And the twins are older, but then they just recently had a new one, but they're happy anyways. Happy accident.
Yeah, so cute. Love them.
So cute for them.
And they drive that little minivan with all the fucking stickers on the back.
They do. And then they've got travel stickers too all over it, as well as their little stick figure family. Yeah.
Of all the places he's destroyed.
Yeah. Love it. I'm obsessed with their family.
Yeah. So cute. They always post on Facebook.
Absolutely.
Chronic Facebook posters.
Absolutely. Oh my god. Or no, that was really good. I have nothing else to add. You got me there.
All right. Let's spin for our last question.
Yeah. What would be the right thing to do for a cryptid discovery? You're out in the woods. Shia LaBeouf. Camping or something. And you see a cryptid and you're like, oh my god, and you actually document it properly, and then people come and you bring people out there and you're able to find it and it's for real a cryptid. What do you what would be the right thing to do?
Okay, maybe this is controversial, but I don't think I would document it at all or tell anyone, because the moment that you do that and like you can actually prove that it's real, that creature is getting exploited to the bitter end. And I don't want to be a part of that. Like, I'm gonna let Bigfoot lie. Like, he's managed to evade the press this long. Let's let him live.
Oh my god. Yeah, see, for me, I'm actually of a very similar mindset where, like, it's interesting because a lot of people look at this stuff and they kind of think of it like, oh, it would be like discovering a new animal. And I'm like, that's different. Like, I feel like if you're discovering, like, a new salamander, people aren't, like, showing up and trying to put, like, the salamander in, like, a traveling circus or something, you know? Or trying to make
Yeah.
well, nowadays it would be like, oh, this salamander lives in my house and we vlog together, you know? Like,
Yeah. It'd be
I
put in like a
just,
zoo or something.
exactly. I don't like that. I feel like maybe what I would do is document my own experience, but then not share it with anybody and then have it be like a fun little treat when I die.
Yeah. I like that. And then you can like, misdirect the coordinates so that they can never find it themselves.
Yeah, and pretend like I didn't know where I was and I was totally actually in this completely different spot. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
Exactly. I love that for you.
Well, see, if I'm depicted as like Looney Tunes after my death, that literally doesn't matter. I know what actually happened.
See, but I also feel like the hard part with that now is that even if you documented it really well, people wouldn't necessarily believe you until they personally saw it, which is where I feel like the exploitation would kind of come into play, because you could take a video of it and like 6 selfies, but people be like, that's fucking AI. Like, there's no way.
Exactly. I know, and that's the thing too, where it's even like, it almost comes to a point where it's like, do you even really get a choice? Because does it even matter? Is it even relevant?
No,
Right?
I don't think so.
And yep, and that's how that goes.
Food for thought.
Food for thought. All right. Well, I'll give you one guess as to what my story is for you today.
Well, it's definitely about one of the cult classic cryptids.
Almost. But it's definitely
Almost.
inspired. Almost.
I see.
Okay, I'll do my description first, and then you can tell me if you know who this is. I doubt you will, in this case, but you always surprise me. And then after that,
Is
we'll
it
get into the
Santa
story.
Paws?
That would be something. It would be something, but it's not.
Fair
That
enough.
that would be like if I did could you imagine if I did an episode and it's just like me talking about Air Buddy or whatever? Like those little
The Air
dog
Buddies
movies that came out? Yeah.
I put that on for my dog yesterday, and I was like, listen, this is a documentary. It's essential viewing for you.
Yeah,
as a
you have to
species,
remember what
so.
happens in this movie. You will be quizzed.
There will be a test at the end.
Yeah. So, in Arkansas folklore, the Fouke monster, also known as the Boggy Creek Monster and the Swamp Stalker, is purported to be a humanoid creature similar to descriptions of Bigfoot that was allegedly sighted in the rural town of Fouke, Arkansas in the early 1970s. The creature was alleged to have attacked a local family and has since then become a part of Arkansas folklore. Stories of the creature influenced the 1972 docudrama horror film The Legend of Boggy Creek, which became the 11th highest grossing film of 1972 and is today considered to be a cult classic, allegedly.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard of this guy, but I'm intrigued. Like, maybe I've heard of him, but is it like kind of the Creature of the Black Lagoon-esque?
Yeah, it's like if the Creature of the Black Lagoon and Bigfoot had a baby, it would be the Fouke monster. And that's why I was curious on if you would have heard of this, because I know you and your husband are really into horror as well as cult classics. So I was like, this may be a strange intersect for you guys where you might actually know what this is. But if you don't, that's great news for me.
Yeah, don't know. So I'm excited to learn.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's get into it. Various reports between 1971 and 1974 described it as a large bipedal creature covered in long dark hair. It was estimated to be about 7 feet or 2 meters tall, with a weight of 250 to 300 pounds, or 110 and 140 kilograms. Later reports claimed that it was far larger, with one witness describing it as being 10 feet or 3 meters tall, with an estimated weight of about 800 pounds or 360 kilograms. Some accounts describe the Fouke monster as running swiftly with a galloping gait and swinging its arms in a fashion similar to a monkey. Horrifying, by the way. Just saying. A 10-foot tall, 800-pound monster that swings its arms like a monkey while running? Firm pass.
I don't like it.
Reports also describe it as having a terrible odor, and the odor being described as a combination of a skunk, a wet dog, and it has bright red eyes about the size of silver dollars.
Wow. Which
for us Canadians is basically a slightly larger toonie.
Yeah.
You're welcome. A variety of tracks and claw marks have been discovered which are claimed to belong to the creature. One set of footprints reportedly measured 17 inches, or 43 centimeters in length, and 7 inches, 18 centimeters wide, while another appeared to show feet that only possessed 3 toes.
So that's very unfortunate.
You sound like a babe, right?
Truly, really hot.
Him and all 3 of his toes just galumphing through the woods.
Actually, that's heinous, you know?
Nothing better than the wind between your long black hair as you galump through the woods.
I do not like that.
No. So then, prior to the 20th century, several alleged sightings had appeared in the general area relating to a large hairy creature, and it circulated in an 1851 report in the Memphis Inquirer, and then again in an 1856 report in the Caddo Gazette. Local residents claimed that the creature had roamed the area since 1964, but those sightings had not been reported from that time period. Local folklore also holds that the creature can be further traced back to sightings again in 1946, with the most early sightings allegedly in the region of Jonesville, as the creature was known as the Jonesville Monster during this period, which I would have to go back in my notes. I believe I've either covered the Jonesville Monster or have at least talked about him again in relation to a different cryptid. So there's a very interesting, I can't remember. Remember...
Venn diagram?
It's not a Venn diagram. Remember when I was telling you about how allegedly in America they have like a secondary... There's like another... They think that there's a theory or like a conspiracy theory basically where people are like, oh, you know the Bermuda Triangle? There's actually several of those and they're all over the world, and there's supposedly one in America connecting different points, and there's always like supernatural sightings like within that triangle. If I'm remembering correctly, I believe this is like I've talked about this area specifically in that too.
Oh, okay.
It's been a hot minute, though, so I could be wrong.
It has.
But we'll see. So, in 1995, the creature was allegedly spotted by a 14-year-old boy who described it as having reddish-brown hair, sniffing the air, and not reacting when it was fired upon with birdshot. Investigator Joe Nickel observed that the description was consistent at that point with a misidentified black bear, which also tracks for some of the things that I talk about on the show, which is people see animals and get confused. That is a big one.
It does seem to be a common theme in your stories. People are like, oh no, look, it could be a cougar. Nah, it's probably a demon.
Definitely a demon. Then in the 1970s, the Fouke monster first made local headlines in 1971 when it was reported to have attacked the home of Bobby and Elizabeth Ford on May 2nd, 1971. According to Elizabeth Ford, the creature, which she initially thought was a bear, reached through a screened window that night while she was sleeping on the couch. It was chased away by her husband and his brother Don, and during the alleged encounter, the Fords fired several gunshots at the creature and believed that they had hit it, although no traces of blood were then found. An extensive search of the area failed to locate the creature, but 3-toed footprints were found close to the house, as well as scratch marks on the porch and damage to a window and the house's siding. According to the Fords, they had heard something moving around outside late at night several nights prior, but having lived in the house for less than a week, they had never encountered the creature before.
I mean, that does kind of sound like a bear.
A little bit, right? A very poor 3-toed bear.
Listen, maybe one of his toes just got bit off by someone else.
He just got a little hungry. It's fine. Don't judge him.
Yeah, it's like, you never heard that expression of like, oh, I'm so hungry I could eat my own fingers or something, or eat my arm.
Yeah.
He just ate his toe.
He's like, I've really only ever wanted 3 toes.
The beauty standards for bears is getting out of hand, guys.
It is getting out of hand. The creature was allegedly sighted again on May 23rd, 1971, when 3 people, D.C. Woods Jr., Wilma Woods, and Mrs. R.H. Sedgrass, reported seeing an ape-like creature across U.S. Highway 71. More sightings reports were made over the following months by local residents and tourists, who found additional footprints, and the best-known footprints were found in a soybean field belonging to the local filling station owner, Scott Keith. They were scrutinized then by the game warden, Carl Galen, who was unable to confirm their authenticity. Like the Ford prints, they appeared also, though, to indicate that the creature only had 3 toes. The incident began to attract substantial interest after news spread about the Ford sighting. The Little Rock, Arkansas radio station, KAAY, posted a $1,090 bounty on the creature. Several attempts were made to track the creature with dogs, but they were unable to follow its scent. When hunters began to take interest in the Fouke monster, Miller County Sheriff Leslie Greer was forced to put in a temporary no-guns policy in order to preserve public safety. In 1971, 3 people were fined $59 each for filing a fraudulent monster report. I'd love to have that on my track record. Like, as a crime, if I had to pick one, fraudulent monster report is a pretty good one.
I mean, you are the resident cryptozoologist on this show, so...
That's true.
That checks out for you.
It does. Then, after an initial surge of attention, public interest in the creature decreased until it gained national recognition in 1973 when Charles B. Pierce released a docudrama horror film about the creature in 1972, again, The Legend of Boggy Creek. By late 1974, interest had waned again, and sightings all but stopped, only to begin again in March 1978 when tracks were reportedly found by 2 brothers prospecting in Russellville, Arkansas. There were also sightings in Center Ridge, Arkansas, and on June 26th of the same year, a sighting was reported in Crosset, Arkansas. During this period, the creature was blamed for missing livestock as well as attacks on several dogs. Since the initial cluster of sightings during the 1970s, there have been sporadic reports of the creature. In 1991, the creature was reportedly seen jumping from a bridge, and then there were 40 reported sightings in 1997 and in 1998. The creature was reportedly sighted in a dry creek bed 5 miles or 8 kilometers south of Fouke, and 1 month after the Ford sighting, Southern State College, now known as Southern Arkansas University, archaeologist Frank Schambach determined that there is a 99% chance that the tracks are a hoax. According to Schambach, the tracks could not be from a species of ape as claimed by witnesses because they were from a 3-toed creature, whereas all primates, including hominids, all have 5 toes. In addition to the number of toes, Schambach cited several other anomalies as part of his conclusion. The region had no history of primate activity, ruling out the possibility of the creature being remnants of an indigenous species. All apes are completely diurnal, as the Fouke monster was reported to be nocturnal. So I'm just going to throw this out here. Schambach literally was like, I'm just going to state the obvious, put it on record. Which I love, but it is kind of funny. Also, I will share with you at the end what I think is going on, but
okay,
we'll see if you get to the same conclusion I do or a similar one. So then, by 1986, the mayor of Fouke, Virgil Roberts, and a former Miller County Sheriff, Leslie Greer, were of the opinion that the alleged Fouke monster tracks were man-made. Greer's working colleague at that time, Chief Deputy H.L. Phillips, said that he had not taken calls regarding the monster in years. He does not believe the creature exists, stating, I don't believe it, but I'll say that you don't argue with people who say they've seen it. Many were respectful and responsible folks. Which is interesting. Then the Skeptoid podcast concludes, so in total, every last shred of evidence that the Fouke monster exists is all anecdotal. Not a single piece is testable. The Fouke monster fits very poorly within the model of a living animal, but fits very well within a local legend. And the Skeptoid podcast is one that covered this story as well, but they basically are just kind of adding in what a lot of these other people are saying, which is a very healthy amount of skepticism is definitely needed here. But I will say, on top of that, it is interesting that the county sheriff did throw in there that a lot of these reports were made by people who are not necessarily known to be people who would tell stories or just go along with the bit or would be easily influenced, like people of note. So I thought that was an interesting comment.
That is.
Then, since 2013, the Fouke Monster Festival, which was previously called the Boggy Creek Festival, has been an annual event dedicated to discussions, presentations, and lore related to the creature and other similar monsters. Proceeds benefit the Fouke School District, with over $3,000 having been raised in 2019 as an example. So, then I do have some media references of the Fouke Monster to see if either you recognize any of this or if any of our listeners do. So the first one is The Legend of Boggy Creek, which is the movie from 1972. The story of Bobby Ford's encounter with the Fouke Monster was the subject of 1972 docudrama horror film, Legend of Boggy Creek. It was originally called The Tracking of the Fouke Monster, and it was played in movie and in drive-in movie theaters around the country at the time. It was written by Earl E. Smith and directed by Charles B. Pierce. The part of Bobby Ford was played by Glenn Carruth, and the part of Elizabeth Ford was played by Bunny Dees. Folk garage owner Willie E. Smith, whose land the three-toe footprints were found, starred as himself in the movie. Many characters were named after the people who played them, and much of the film was shot on location in Fouke, nearby Texarkana, though some scenes were filmed in Shreveport, Louisiana. Most of the cast were local people or Texarkana college students, and the film is believed to have cost around $160,000 to make, and it grossed about $20 million at box office. Then,
wow.
I know. Then there is Return to Boggy Creek, which is from 1977. A second Fouke monster film, Return to Boggy Creek, was filmed and released in 1977. The movie had an entirely fictional plot. It was not intended to be a sequel. It was directed by Tom Moore, written by John David Woody, and starred Dawn Wells as the mother of 3 children who become lost in the swamp. Some of the film scenes were shot on location in Dallas, Texas, Loreauville, and Iberia Parish in Louisiana. Then there's Boggy Creek 2, and the legend continues, in 1985. Originally titled The Barbaric Beast of Boggy Creek Part 2, the third Fouke monster film was written as a sequel to the original film. Charles B. Pierce wrote, directed, and played the role of Brian Lockhart, a University of Arkansas professor who leads a group of students into the swamps around Fouke. The film was shot on location in Fouke, but included some scenes shot at the University of Arkansas, and then in 1999, Boggy Creek 2 and the Legend Continues was then lampooned in an episode of Mystery Science Theater 3000. Then we have Boggy Creek, The Legend is True in 2010. Boggy Creek, The Legend is True was a home video released in 2011. Early buzz suggested that the film, directed by Brian T. Janes, was to be a remake of the Charles B. Pierce original 1972 film. However, it is an unrelated story set in a fictional town of Boggy Creek, Texas. Even so, the film obviously draws influence from Pierce's film with a small town setting and the use of spooky swampscapes for this southern Sasquatch horror slasher. Then, The Legacy of Boggy Creek in 2011. This low-budget indie film was originally released in 2009 under the title of The Skunk Ape Story, but was later re-edited and released to home video in 2011 as The Legacy of Boggy Creek. This docudrama chronicles the events that began the original attacks in Fouke and is written and directed by Dustin Ferguson. And lastly, I have the Boggy Creek Monster of 2016. In 2016, a documentary film about the Fouke Monster entitled Boggy Creek Monster was released. Directed by Seth Breedlove, who co-produced the film with Lyle Blackburn under the banner of Breedlove's production company Small Town Monsters, it was filmed in Fouke and features accounts from claimed eyewitnesses of the purported creature. And that is the story and the media of the Fouke Monster, because I'm going to be so real with you, I have never heard of any of those movies ever in my entire life. And there are so
Me either,
many of
but
them.
I too have not heard of them, but I am intrigued by the OG 1970s Boggy Creek. I might watch that.
It seems like a really good, like, spooky night vibe. And I feel like, Like, maybe it's not the right time of year coming up to Christmas, but it definitely has, like, a little bit of a... Like, I love the whole... Even the description they gave of the slasher movie where they were like, oh, it's like a horror southern swampland. Like, that sounds cool, actually.
It does sound kind of cool. I don't know. It's very intriguing for sure.
Mm-hmm. So I am curious on maybe if the reason why we don't know as much is because we're Canadian. Because for it to gross that high, it would have had to have been popular somewhere. So I'm assuming that it was maybe more of a hot topic in America. But that's just my guess.
See, I feel like it probably did numbers at the drive-in because I feel like a lot of those types of movies used to do really well at like a drive-in theater where people weren't necessarily like watching the film. They were going there to hang out and do other stuff.
Banging. Yeah, right? So
just a theory.
Theoretically speaking, that's what people do at drive-ins. So I'm curious though, with the original story of the Fouke monster, like with what I gave you first, what do you think is going on? Like, do you think that it is some sort of like crazy huge ape running around the woods Bigfoot style and got too far from home, or do you think it's something else?
I'm gonna go with it was probably a bear.
I agree. I also think it's a bear, but I'm willing to bet it's maybe a bear with mange or something. Like it's sick, so it doesn't look entirely like a normal bear is kind of my thought. And if it was sick, it would maybe also be missing, you know, some like fingers and toes and that kind of thing. That's kind of how I feel.
I feel like that is a very good theory, but I wasn't there, so I'll never know.
Yeah, right?
I do love that they had to put a ban on guns. They're like, we've done enough. Yeah. You need to stop.
They were like, you guys are literally a hazard to the city. We can't have you doing this anymore.
It's gotta stop, guys. It's gotta stop.
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. So I thought that was really neat. And reading up on this did make me a little bit curious about cult classic monsters. Because, yeah, I've literally never watched any of them. And I've noticed that with horror movies, the older they are, the more I like them. Because they don't really do jump scares. It's just like bad props and spooky music, which I love.
Yeah, I feel like those would be a good vibe for you to like dip your toes into the horror world. I feel like the jump scare horrors are such a small portion of horror movies that like there's so much else you could enjoy without having that one piece.
I'll get there one day.
Slowly but surely I'll convince you.
One day. So if you liked today's episode, make sure to leave us a review on wherever you're listening to our podcast. As always, 5 stars is appreciated, but we understand otherwise. If you would like to check out our website, it is www.wheelofcrime.com to check us out on there. We have our social media, which is on Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok, all at Wheel of Crime. We have our email, which is wheelofcrime@gmail.com if you want to send a message into the show. We have a Patreon, which is Wheel of Crime at Patreon. And lastly, we do have our Listener Stories forum up. I was horribly, horribly sick for this year's listener episode, which blows because we love Halloween, but we will still be doing it at some point coming up here. So if you would like to get in on it and throw your story into the mix, worry that you've lost your last opportunity, guess what? The world is working in your favor and your time is coming. So please put that in and we will be doing your listener episode here probably before the end of the year.
Yes, and that's it. That's all. We'll see you next week for another new episode. Okay, bye.
Bye.